What's up, you guys? This is Devin from Century FX Studios, back with another video, and today we're going to be talking about Peter McKinnon's video on speed lights. And first thing you're going to say, I know, in the comments below, you're going to be like, Devin, you're just a troll, you're a hater, you don't have the subs, you don't have the views to be coming at Peter McKinnon, you're trying to start beef, you're trying to be negative, and we're not trying to hear that mess at all. You know, people come for me in my comments, but that's not actually the reason why I'm making this video. I understand that I don't have as many subs, but even back in the day, YouTube had a video response little script that you can actually put your video response under somebody's comment section. So this is nothing new, and of course I'm going to have my own opinions and my own experiences, and I'm not going to agree with everything Peter McKinnon says just because he has millions of views and millions of subscribers. That's not why I make my channel. My channel is to get my experiences and my point of view across. Now, I've been using Yongnuo flashes for years. Now, the side note is I'm not sponsored by Yongnuo or any other camera company or any company. And I am, like I said, I'm a big fan of Peter McKinnon. But like I said, I've been using Yongnuo flashes for years. I've used the 500 series Yongnuo flashes. But more importantly, I've used the 600, the newest technology that they have, the 600 series of Yongnuos, the EXRT radio triggered slaves. And you don't have to, be like, oh, he's just saying that to say it. I actually have it here. And I have 5 other ones, but they suck so much that I don't want to bring them on video here. But this is the EXRT. I don't know if you can see it, and I'm not on autofocus, so I'm not going to bring it close to the screen. But this has the radio trigger in it, and it is $100. Oh, that sounds familiar, like the title of his video. And this is the 600 series, not the 500 series, but we'll get right into that in a few seconds. But you have to understand that what Peter is doing here is really trying to get you guys to watch his video, even though it doesn't actually attack the title of his video. Like I said, the title of his video is a $99 must-have. Now, when you see that title, you say to yourself, like I said to myself, okay, there's a $99 piece of photography equipment. Now, with the market full of photography equipment, how in the world can you find something that's $99 that is an actual must-have? Because the camera itself costs what, $300, $400. Now, if I'm getting up to the bigger daddies, you're talking about $900 to $6,000. The 1DX Mark II, which is the camera of Peter McKinnon's choice. Now, it's not an easy camera to use, but we'll get into all that stuff later. You have to understand that the price point that you're bringing people in with is not actually in line with some of the things that he says in this video. Now, let's first off start by talking about the things that he's right about in this video. For example, the meat of the video is really talking about speed lights, how to use them, what kind of terminology you're going to see, ETTL, auto mode versus manual mode, why this flash doesn't have it versus the other flashes having it, and all these other things. Now, he gets into how to use the flash, his experiences with speed lights. Now, I use the term flash and speed light synonymously, but for those of you who are learning, just like Peter McKinnon did in the video, he uses flash and speed light synonymously in the video, which means flash equals speed light. But the word flash has a whole bunch of different meanings. So for those of you who are just learning photography, I'd advise you guys to look up mono lights, speed lights, versus any other type of flashes that you can find on the market today, because that makes a big difference when it comes to your choice in the matter of purchase. So going back to what I said about Peter McKinnon is that when he gets into the meat of the video, he's talking about theory. He's talking about everything that applies to every speed light. But in the title of the video, it says $99 must-have. It literally says a $99 must-have. So when you see you're talking about one specific product. So when he goes into depth about speed lights in 9 minutes of the video, he's talking about straight up speed light information that you can do on any speed light, from a $60 speed light all the way up to a $600 speed light. This applies to all of them, whether it's sending information, like I said, ETTL, ITTL, any other system that you're using, how to place it, how to bounce it off walls, things of that nature. All that was correct, and that's the meat of his video, but that's not the title of his video. And that's where I'm starting to get confused and depressed a little bit because Peter McKinnon has a big following, whether it be subscribers or views. He gets everybody coming to watch his videos because they're beautiful, they're gorgeous, he's talented, he has amazing transitions, it's very fast, it's everything that everybody needs for the community of YouTube. But like I said, going forth, the meat of his video was just about speed light facts. It wasn't about that 560 Mark IV, and I don't even think he mentioned the actual model of the flash much in the video, except once when he put it up on the screen and he said Yongnuo or Yongno Digital. Now, whether the word matters or not, it doesn't really matter. The brand matters, but the pronunciation doesn't matter. I'm not trying to make fun of him because of that, because I had trouble pronouncing it myself. But of course, Chinese, third party. It can't be as good as Peter McKinnon is saying. I know for a fact that it's not. But the fact that he has millions of subscribers, over half, almost, I don't know at this point, it's right under 500,000 views of this one speedlight video. Now people are going to go out buying this 560 Mark IV flash, not really knowing some of the history of the flash, history of Yongnuo's build quality, their reliability, their customer service. All this stuff matters when you're getting into a speedlight. Now let's go into my opinions on this. That's some of the stuff that he's wrong about. He's not talking about the actual flash, and from the sound of it at the end of the video, he didn't even mention using the flash. Actually, he said that I'll follow up with him on Twitter about the usage of his flash and his experiences, which I thought was kind of like a dagger to me, because I'm a big fan of Peter McKinnon. I love his videos, love his style, love his experience, all this stuff. I don't hate Peter McKinnon in the least, but it confuses me that if you use YouTube as your platform to inform somebody about a speedlight, YouTube is the #1 platform to show off that speedlight, to tell your experiences about it, because people can see one-on-one, bang, that's what it is, that's the result. Peter McKinnon made this, it's high quality, it's this, it's well-informed, it's this, that, and the other, and I don't get that vibe from this video. And no, I'm not trying to come for Peter McKinnon, but my thing is, I've used this flash. Not only have I used the 500 series and I've used the 600 series, but I know exactly that going to Yongnuo's customer service is not the thing to do once a flash breaks, and break they do, if not in the shipping they break. And of course he says, oh, the ratings were wonderful, but with photography equipment, when you going through ratings, you really have to take it with a grain of salt, because think about it, the photography world is so vast. The photography world is extremely vast, so when you're looking at all of this stuff and people are like, oh, I did amazing stuff with this flash. Yeah, that could be true, and you might have a good experience with this flash. But what were they doing with this flash? Was this flash out in the field? Was this around a lot of people at an event, at a wedding? Was it taking thousands of pictures, or was it taking 50 pictures to 400 pictures in the studio where it didn't move? Or did it stay on the light stand all day? Were you intending on using this on the light stand? And if it falls once, what does it do? Does it keep working? Does it stop working? How's the battery life? None of this stuff was really mentioned, and it really threw me off. I'm like, did he tell me about the battery life? How many full power pops can I get out of this flash? What kind of battery life do I have? How many times do I have to go get batteries before the next event? He didn't tell you that most of the time when you're shooting really a lot of pictures with speedlights, you got to get them, batteries every time you go out, because you want to be secure, right? So that's another expense. So even though you're buying this $99 must-have, you have to incur an expense that goes on and on and on, an expense that your camera doesn't give you. So once you buy that $300 camera with a decent lens, maybe $100, $200 when you're first starting, you don't have to really buy into anything unless you want to upgrade your look and stuff like that. Whereas the speedlight, if you're using it on a daily basis or anywhere between a beginner to daily basis, you're going to have to keep buying batteries and keep buying batteries and keep buying batteries. And this video was made this year, not no less than or no more than 5 months ago. So when you think about it, you think about what was on the market when he made this video. So I looked on the market, and lo and behold, of course, I have a flash that's recently on the market, and that's the Flashpoint lithium-ion TTL R2s. Now, Godox has the other side of the brand, but it's essentially the same brand, where this flash only cost me about $160-$70 when it came out, and it has a lithium-ion, has a lithium-ion battery pack, which gave me, I can forget to charge this thing for a whole day, and not forget to charge it, but have it on for a whole day, and it will really retain a lot of its battery power. Whereas if you do that with a speedlight, it may or may not even wake up when you hit the button. It recharges fast. It gives me this sense of security, where that Yongnuo 560 didn't give me that sense of security. The 560 Mark IV didn't give me this sense of security. So also think about the title of the 560 Mark IV. Mark IV. Okay, this is a Mark IV flash. That means there's a Mark I, Mark II, and a Mark III, which means years past, Yongnuo has been doing this. This is not the first time that they've made this flash. And the big claim to fame with this flash is the fact that you can use the the TX or transmitting system with this flash. Peter McKinnon doesn't mention any of that. And the title of the video is called a $99 must-have. Why? Why is it a $99 must-have? It kind of irked me that he made it like that, and he kind of lulled you into this sense of security that, oh, we're going to know exactly what he's talking about. He could have even put it in parentheses, hey, $99 must-have, YN560 Mark IV. And you might think, oh, well, this must have came out yesterday or the day before he made the video, and because Peter McKinnon must have a bit of money behind his name because he has the, the 1DX, the aperture light dome, and all this different high quality stuff. Well, actually, this 560 Mark IV came out in 2013. Like it's old. It's nowhere near new, so you can't expect it to have the best technology. You can't expect it to have the best battery life because it can't have the best technology because it's so old. And Young Nuo has been making flashes since speed lights since 2010. So they've been doing this for almost a decade. And I'm not saying that's the first thing they've ever made, but they have experience in the game for cheap third-party, speed lights. So if you're trying to get into the cheap third-party world, yes, you can get this. And yes, it will make a difference in your work, but is it reliable? And then when you spill that $100 on this speed light, which is actually $60, $75 if you look on Amazon, and Amazon will tell you when this flash came out, so you don't have to be like, oh my goodness, he just lying to make Peter McKinnon look bad. No, it tells you when the product was posted. Literally use his link from his video, click on it, and then look at the Amazon listing, scroll down almost all the way to the bottom right before the amazing reviews, and look at the date in which the product was posted, and you'll understand when you were able to buy this flash. And that's why it's so cheap. It probably was $99 when it first came out, but that was years ago. And so you have to assume that technology has gotten greater, and that there's other brands like Adorama's brand Flashpoint, Godox, and there's other brands that I'm going to list here on the video that tell you that this is not a new thing, especially with these new lithium-ion powered battery packs that keep you from having to go to any of your local hardware stores and getting a whole bunch of batteries and then losing them and looking like an idiot trying to put the batteries in. Man, you don't know how many times I've tried this 600 series Young Nuo trying to put batteries in this thing. So here's another thing. The video really starts to break down on me at 2:45 to 2:53 when he goes on the kind of premise of what he's going to talk about throughout the entire video. And I mean, even though the stuff was right, it wasn't applied to this flash. Yeah, like I said, this product came out December 1st, 2013 on Amazon. But have you tried this product, Peter? Have you actually followed up on Twitter? Now, I don't have a Twitter account, or I don't follow my Twitter account like that, so I don't know. But if anybody has followed up on this with Peter McKinnon, just let me know what he thought about it. And it just seems like it's a vlog style video, because vlog style videos tend to have some kind of a point, but they're more about, an everyday type of atmosphere, getting to know the person that's behind the video. It's not necessarily a pointed product review. It's not a pointed this, that, and the other. I know how hard it is on YouTube trying to get these product reviews out, all this other stuff, trying to get your viewers enthusiastic about a product when they're not even used to product reviews or anything like that. Like you said, they're not about lighting videos. They're not about sound videos, but I know exactly what you're talking about. But and this video makes me really, really confused if you're going to get into it, because me personally, I might get only 13 views on this video, probably a little bit more because I'm talking about popular YouTuber, but that's not the point of this video. My point of this video is I disagree and I'm just confused. Okay, so let's go into depth about this. Okay, let me get my 600 series Young Nuo. This does not have a modifier on it like Peter McKinnon was talking about, or bounce card. Let's get the 7D Mark I here. And it doesn't have a lens on it, so it doesn't look as beefy as it would be. But say, for example, you get a flash, or a speed light more specifically, and you put it on top of your flash, you lock it, bang. You're walking around like this at every single event that you go at, or every single shindig that you're at, or whatever you're using this for. So immediately, what is somebody gonna think when they see this and you're holding this? They're gonna think, oh, this guy's a pro. This guy can take my picture anytime he needs to and get the exact exposure, exact everything you need. And you're gonna get so many questions about this because you have a beefy setup. You have extra stuff, which they know is expensive. They know it's hard to walk around with this, but you've chosen to walk around with this, whether you're a female, whether you're a male, whatever your gender, whoever you are, you've chosen to walk around with this lug of equipment just for photo quality. So of course you might as well be a pro at that point. The reason being is because the world views you as a pro. It's about the court of public opinion. So for example, if you go out to a park with a speed light on your camera, even with the long lens, if I come out with a 70 to 200, anything that looks expensive on your body is going to make people raise their eyebrows. Park rangers, police officers, anybody who has the power to obstruct what you're trying to do or try to come in between you and your pictures, don't have a model out there. Oh my goodness, are you shooting commercially? And so this video is geared by Peter McKinnon to appeal to everybody who is wanting to get into speedlights and better image quality. Well, this video doesn't really serve you justice if you put that on your camera and tell you exactly how people are going to feel, what they're going to encounter, what they're going to incur, and what your responsibility is. For example, it's like you going out and you wearing a police outfit, and people think you're a police officer. You're like, wait, no, I'm not a police officer. What do you mean? I was like, but they think that because you have that type of stuff around you, you have that stuff on you. Or for example, if you walk out with a tuxedo or prom outfit and they're like, wow, you must have went to somewhere nice, or you must be going somewhere nice. No, this is just what I wear every day. You see what I'm saying? That's that whole mentality. The court of public opinion, what people see is what people believe, regardless of what's true or not. You see what I'm saying? The court of public opinion is extremely strong nowadays. Back when I first started, you could get away with just walking around with a speed light, or for example, a speed light with a modifier on it. This is my flashpoint again. Flashpoint R2 zoom lithium ion. Like I said, I got a lithium ion battery pack. But more importantly, for this example, this is a modifier. The Mag Mod, I forgot what this thing is called, but it's awesome. I love it. But when you put extra stuff, like Peter McKinnon said, on your flash, people think you're even more pro. So that responsibility comes whether you want it or not, and it'll start to distract from your experience, especially if you're not expecting to have that pro's responsibility. When you get into the nitty-gritty of this stuff, you start to understand that, hey, this is an awesome responsibility to have a speed light on top of my camera, and then on top of that, this speed light is hard to actually meter and find out how much power I need. Why? Because it doesn't have ETTL or an auto mode. And so when Peter McKinnon says, oh my goodness, this is an amazing flash for $99, and he doesn't get into any contextual things like how it's going to be in the field, what you're going to have to do to make this work exactly the way you're going to make it work, and then by moving just an inch can throw your exposure off, or moving just a foot or two back and forth, and what can block your obstruct. There's so many things that can go wrong with using the flash, and you can't just bounce it off of any wall. Just like he mentioned, you have to bounce it off of something. That's why he mentioned that bounce card. But you can't just bounce it off of any red ceiling, because you're gonna have a red color cast, and then your white bounce is gonna go all crazy. There's a whole bunch of different things that could go wrong, especially since this flash does not have ETTL. Might I recommend you get anything with Godox or Flashpoint. Godox and Flashpoint have been doing an amazing job with their R2 series with Canon, because not only do I have this, but I have the trigger that comes along with it. I don't have it in a video, don't ask me about it. But the flash trigger, the R2 trigger, can work with this speed light and my 600 watt second mono light, all on the same trigger. So that makes me just want to get another one. I've dropped this a couple of times. Yeah, this took a beating. I do sports. I do a whole bunch of different styles of photography, and I'm around a lot of people. But chances are, if you're buying a speed light at the end of the day, guys, you're going to take pictures of people. And chances are you're not going to take a lot of family portraits with a speed light, because it's so hard to meter, especially when you're not around the speed light. And you're going to be taking pictures of people that are not you, and they're going to be very, very stingy and stubborn about how they want to look, especially when you're adding some artificial light that's not in the shot. They don't know what to think about it a lot of times. So if you do it wrong, overexpose them, underexpose them, or anything like that, and then your battery power goes down and all this responsibility starts to incur, where you're just used to having a pop-up flash, a little camera or a little DSLR, and a manageable lens, you have this amazing responsibility, in which Peter McKinnon doesn't even really mention in his videos. And I know people are like, you just hate it, man. You just hate it. No, get some experience with speedlights, and you'll understand. Yes, Peter McKinnon has a lot of experience with speedlights, because anybody who can strobe a wedding with four different speed lights and manage them and manage the lighting, oh my goodness, that's great. Even I struggle with doing that. So, and I don't even have 4 because, of course, my young Nuo flashes failed on me. I had like 4 different 600s, and I wanted to do exactly what Peter McKinnon does. You know, strobe weddings with 4 different strobes all over and see exactly what that sharp, contrasty light looks like. It's so unique. But I'm done with Century FX Studios, guys. I know I went a little long in this video. I could have went over a whole bunch of different points, but I wanted to make this video nice, short, and simple because I had like a 22-minute video before, and if this doesn't, what is this going on like 20 minutes at this point? I try to narrow it down. I'm done with Century FX Studios, guys. I know you're gonna disagree with me in the comments. Again, I love Peter McKinnon. I love his work. I love his videos. I would love to meet him one day. I'm confused and I disagree with this video based off of my own experiences. Yes, you can have some good experiences with young Nuo flashes. My 600 series still works, but there's a lot of issues. Watch my other videos to find out what. And stay tuned for my next video, guys. Now, that even means no. My flashpoint just rolled off my thing here, but I know it's gonna work because it's not a 560 Mark IV. Anyway,